Hello and good morning, everybody. It is actually, what day is it? Wednesday morning. And welcome to my 2024 Summerween vlog. So I am actually starting this a bit early. It is July 3rd today. Summerween doesn't actually start until the 5th, which is Friday, and then it goes all the way through Thursday at like 11:59 p.m. So I am starting early, however I do have a couple of reasons for that. So Summerween is a week-long readathon hosted by Gabby Reads. I will link her channel down below. I think she also does a Winterween. This is the first time I am participating because I always miss it. I don't know about it until all the vlogs come out, but this year I am participating, which I'm very excited about. I am going to be very casual about participating for a couple reasons, which includes why I am starting a few days early. I am actually going to my parents for the 4th of July weekend, so I am heading over there this evening after work, and then I will be over there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then coming back home Sunday. So I don't know how much reading I'm gonna do during that time, so I figured I would at least start the vlog today. I don't even know how much reading I'm gonna get done today, so we will see. But I am gonna kind of go through my TBR, my just very tentative TBR. This honestly, we might just get through one book during this reading vlog. Hopefully, my hope is like 2, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. And again, my TBR is very tentative. It's based off of the prompts. So I'm gonna go through that. I have several books actually for the TBR because I can't really decide what I want to read. But basically Summerween is just kind of like a little, like I said, week-long readathon where you read, you can read anything that you want, but a lot of the prompts are based off of like thriller horror books. So one of the prompts is to read a book that has a night sky on the cover, and this one already I am kind of bending a little bit because it doesn't look like a night sky, but it is nighttime on the cover. And that is Murder Road by Simone St. James. This is the alternate cover. You can see it's like nighttime. The headlights are on. It's just the sky is pink on this alternate cover. I will post the like original cover right here. This is the Evernight Maluma Crates horror edition. I would say this is less horror and more of like a supernatural thriller. Simone St. James is a thriller writer. However, like it has horror elements. I'm not gonna go through necessarily what these books are about because I've got like 5 or 6 here right now. I will go through them when I actually pick them up to read them, but I'm just gonna go through generally what my TBR is right now. So Murder Road by Simone St. James checks off the prompt thing for a book with a night sky on the cover. This has to do with a road that is potentially haunted and people dying on it. So there's Murder Road. I'm gonna put these here. My next one, the next prompt is kind of weird. It's a book with 5 words in the title, and I really wanted to stick to either horror or thriller for this. I do see other people doing like other genres, but personally I really wanted to stick to the horror thriller theme. So I picked The Children on the Hill, 5 words in the title, by Jennifer McMahon. This probably could fit for a night sky on the cover, but like to me this kind of looks like a stormy, possibly afternoon sky. I'm not sure. But this has been on my TBR for a while, so I actually really want to prioritize this one. Because I think out of all of the books here, this one I think has been on my TBR the longest. So I know this is inspired by Frankenstein. Yeah, so it's inspired by Frankenstein. It's not necessarily a Frankenstein retelling, it's just inspired by it. There's creepy children involved. So that is that one. This one, there's a book that takes place during the summer. For that I picked The Troop by Nick Cutter. This is super popular horror novel. I've never read anything by him. Obviously haven't read this one yet. This also could maybe go for night sky, although that looks like daylight there. And so it looks more stormy. This has to do with a Boy Scout troop on a camping trip, and somebody comes into their campsite that may or may not have some sort of bioengineered disease. And people love this. Like, this is like a very popular favorite of people's. So there's that one. The next three, well, that's not necessarily even the next three. The next two are kind of alternates. There's just a general prompt of reading a horror thriller book in general. The next one I have is Leech by Hiran Ennis. This actually could count as Night Sky, because if you look here, there's like a night sky in this jar. This is a sci-fi horror. People really like this. People say it's really weird and kind of dense almost. I think just with the writing style and the topic. It's, like I said, a sci-fi thriller. I think it has to do with like collective consciousness and like parasites, I think. So there's that. And then the next one I just picked because it was shorter. As you can see, like typically when you do a readathon, you try to at least throw in like a novella or two. I didn't throw in any novellas. The novellas that I own, none of them fit any of the prompts, or they overlapped with a prompt that I really, if I can, want to get to this one. And then obviously this is a priority because it's been on my TBR for a while. So the other one I just threw in as like an alternate option, The Grip of It by Jack Jemick. This is a haunted house thriller, deals with grief. I think it is like under 300 pages. And like they feel pretty like small pages, so I think this one would go pretty fast. Again, this is just like an alternate option. And then the other one that I'm including in here because I'm going to my parents' house is The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones, because I am planning on at some point buddy reading this with my dad. He has a copy, so I'm bringing it with to try to entice him to get it start it with me. This wouldn't be something that I would like finish during the readathon. This would be something that I would potentially start. I'm not sure, but I'm adding it on here. So these are this is my TBR. These are my options for now. Who knows, it might change, but again, I think this is my main priority, The Children on the Hill, because it's been on my TBR the longest, and I'm just really excited to read The Troop by Nick Cutter because everybody loves it. So those are my options. Again, who knows how many of these I'll get to. The other thing that I do need to read, I am doing a buddy reread of the Bone Season series in anticipation for the newest book, The Dark Mirror, coming out I think it's January of 2025, and I'm doing the buddy read with my friend Aparna. I'm gonna link her Instagram down below, so if you really like nail art, you'll love her page. She's got amazing nail art. But her and I are doing a buddy read, so we're gonna follow the timeline that Read the Fix on Instagram has kind of put together. I'll again link their Instagram account down below. This is just a really chill, like breaks it down week by week, like kind of reading schedule thing, and we figured it was chill enough that we were gonna try to follow it. And because of that, I have two novellas that unrelated to Summerween, but just the schedule lines up, that I need to get to. They're the two prequel novellas that surprisingly I actually have not read. Love The Bone Season. It's literally one of my favorite series of all time. Even though it's still going, I am very confident that I can say that. Samantha Shannon is one of my favorite authors, and I've never read the prequels. And it's kind of about following the schedule. The Merits of Unnaturalness is the prequel. They're novellas, so they're really short, but the prequel that is supposed to be read this week, and then The Pale Dreamer is the prequel that's supposed to be read next week. So I'll be bringing my Kindle and reading those as well, but they're really short, like literally under 100 pages. I think one of them's like 50. they might both be like 50 pages long. So super easy to get through. But that is my plan. This has been a really long intro, but I will kind of check in with you on what I am choosing to start with. Honestly, it's probably going to be The Children on the Hill. But I'm going to bring a couple of options when I go to my parents' house, but I'll check in with you when I have my next update. Hello! It is Monday afternoon, and I know you're probably thinking, Sarah, we went from Wednesday to Monday and no updates. I know. I was going to vlog when I was at my parents' house for the long kind of holiday weekend, and then there were medical emergencies that happened, not for me, for a family member, and they're okay now, but that happened and took up the majority of the holiday weekend, and I was not gonna vlog things because of just all of that happening, and we didn't really get to do much else outside of just kind of taking care of family things. So we are here Monday. And I also didn't get much reading done, which was fine. I didn't plan to get a whole bunch of reading done anyway, because I was visiting family. But I will give you just a little bit of an update. I did read the little novella for my kind of bone season reread. It was on the merits of unnaturalness. It was fine. I don't really have anything to kind of really talk about in regards to it. It's just like a 50-page novella that kind of gives you an overview of the world and kind of, I guess, magic system, you would say. Goes over kind of these different classifications of clairvoyance in the Bone Season universe. So that was quite interesting. And then I did start The Children on the Hill by Jennifer McMahon. I am about this far the way through. I think we're on page 131. And for the sake of not spoiling things about what this book is about, I am very, very tired. This whole weekend, it was just very busy, and I didn't sleep as well as I normally do, so I'm just very tired. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to read the inside cover to kind of give you an update of what this book is about. So we're following two timelines. We're following 1978 and we're following 2019. So in 1978, at her renowned treatment center in picturesque Vermont, the brilliant psychiatrist Dr. Helen Hildreth is acclaimed for her compassionate work with the mentally ill. But when she's home with her cherished grandchildren, Violet and Eric, she's just Gran, teaching them how to take care of their pets, preparing them home-cooked meals, and providing them with care, attention, and love. Then one day, Gran brings home a child to stay with the family. Iris, silent, hollow-eyed, skittish, and feral, does not behave like a normal girl. Still, they're thrilled to have a new playmate. She and Eric invite Iris to join their monster club, where they catalog all kinds of monsters and dream up ways to defeat them. Before long, Iris begins to come out of her shell. She and Vi and Eric do everything together, ride their bicycles, go to the drive-in, meet at their clubhouse in secret to hunt monsters, because as Vi explains, monsters are everywhere. And in 2019, Lizzie Shelley, the host of the popular podcast Monsters Among Us, is traveling to Vermont, where a young girl has been abducted and a monster sighting has the town in an uproar. She's determined to hunt down because Lizzie knows better than anyone that monsters are real, and one of them is her very own sister. So this is, I think I mentioned before, it is inspired by Frankenstein. I will say at this point, at about a third of the way through, 130 pages in, I think I know where this is going. It feels pretty obvious where this is going. That being said, it could very well just be trying to lead me in that direction, and it could be going in a different direction. I don't know. I am enjoying this. I am much more intrigued by the 1978 timeline than I am by the 2019 timeline. We are getting a lot more from the 1978 timeline, and then just like, I guess, shorter snippets of the 2019 timeline for now. I can see where we go later in the book. We're gonna probably shift that and get more, kind of spend more time in the 2019 timeline. But for now, I'm enjoying it. I am quite intrigued. It reads very easily. I like Jennifer McMahon's writing style. It's not overly flowery, but it is quite just pretty. And then, like I said, it just reads very, very easily. So yeah, I am really enjoying this. I obviously plan to continue reading this. We will see how the rest of this goes. Again, I'll update you at some point on it, but yeah, I'm enjoying this. So one other thing that I wanted to mention is that even though we were very, very busy over the weekend, my mom did start teaching me how to crochet, and I have started to make a scarf. I've crocheted this much of it so far. I'm really enjoying it, having a lot of fun. But yeah, I know my mom tried teaching me when I was younger, and for some reason I just did not get it. But I'm just doing single stitch crochet, and I'm getting it. And I'm really enjoying it. It's very just kind of relaxing, and I'm looking forward to kind of continue with this project. Again, it's going to be a scarf. Initially, we were going to try to just dive right into doing the Taylor Swift crochet dress. If you don't know what that is, I'll put a picture of it up here. And that very, very quickly we realized that it is way above my skill level. We're going to start with just single stitch crochet, and we're gonna make a scarf first. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that. Thought that was really fun. For the rest of the night, I am going to walk toast, eat some dinner. I've got a couple of just chores that I need to do around the apartment, and then I plan to just have, after the chores are done, I plan to just have a very, very quiet night of reading, possibly crocheting. Hopefully I'll do both, read and crochet, and then I plan to go to bed early because I have just been really, really tired today. But I'm gonna go walk toast now. Hello again. It is Tuesday afternoon. Tuesday? Yes, Tuesday. For a second I blinked and thought it was still Monday. It is Tuesday afternoon, about 4:30. Just finished up with work, getting ready to go do the same thing I always do in the evening. Take the little toasters for a WALK right away, and then I do have to go pick up some groceries, just a few, not a whole lot, but a couple of things that I really need. And did I do the chores that I said I was going to do yesterday night? No, I did not. Well, kind of, I started to, and then I just decided I was way too tired. Still very tired today, but I did like one or two of them this morning. So I do have just a couple of extra things that I need to get done, and then dinner, and then my plan is to finish The Children on the Hill. I am now about 2/3 of the way through, page 226. I've got just over 100 pages left, and I think I'll be able to finish this tonight. So like I said, her writing style is just really easy to read. It's not like bad, or like bad in the way that it's too simple. It's very easy to fly through. Still enjoying this. It's not like blowing me away like I was hoping it was going to, but it's not bad. I am, still having a really good time with this. It did take a little bit of a turn, like it still went in the obvious direction that it was going in, but in a way that was slightly different than what I was expecting, and I like this development a little bit better. We are starting to really see the parallels. They're very small parallels, but there's parallels between the 1978 timeline and the 2019 one, and they're quite satisfying once I start noticing them. I will say, I don't think this is a spoiler, because we know in the synopsis that the two girls' names in the 1978 timeline is Violet and Iris. And then in the 2019 timeline, we're following Lizzie. And we know pretty early on that she changed her name. That's not a spoiler. It happens like really early on in the book that she said that she changed her name. However, it's never explicitly stated which of the sisters that she is. If she's Iris or if she's Violet. And I find that very interesting. I still don't know. I have my suspicions. It's leading you to believe that it's one particular sister, but I could easily see it being the other sister. At this point, the 2/3 of the way through, there's still no solid confirmation on who Lizzie is. And when I get there, if there's ever a solid confirmation, I don't know, maybe I'm reading too far into it, and you're just supposed to go with who you assume that it's supposed to be, who it is kind of, leading you to believe she is. But if there is like an actual reveal, I'm not going to tell you, but it's just something that I found really interesting. And again, I don't really think it's a spoiler. It's pretty easy to tell early on, and she says very, very, very early on, when you get the Lizzie perspective for the first time, she says that she changed her name. That's interesting. But yeah, I'm enjoying this so far. Again, I would say it's probably like a 3.5 right now. It's just kind of, it's okay, but I am, entertained, I am intrigued, and it is going quite fast. So my plan is to continue, and my plan is to finish it tonight, but we will see. In terms of anything else, I don't really have another update for you. That was basically it. I know that this readathon ends Thursday night at like 11:59. I'm gonna continue it through this weekend, like probably through Sunday, just because I did get a bit of a late start on it. Again, like, that's not a huge deal to me. Like, I don't really care. I 100% wanted to be there for the family member that was having the medical emergency. That is way, way, way more important than a readathon. So I just figured I would, extend it through the end of the weekend and, have it be that. Yeah, I just wanted to give you that little bit of an update. But as of right now, what? Are you good? I don't know if you saw that. Yeah, you probably saw it. Are you okay? What's happening? Is there a ghost in here? Are you good? Are you good? Whoa, ma'am, what's happening? I'm gonna go take her for a WALK. It's about 7:30 on Wednesday in the morning, 7:30 in the morning. I just wanted to do a quick check-in and let you know that last night I did finish The Children on the Hill by Jennifer McMahon. I did end up giving this a 3.5 star, right around where I predicted it. I liked the ending, but I was disappointed because of the horror aspect. Like, it just wasn't, it kind of, to me, removed some of the horror elements of this book. But like, in general, if this wasn't a horror novel, I would have really liked it. Like, just, However, the twist at the very, very, very end, like the last 2 pages, definitely brought the horror level back into play, and I really liked that. I will say, I predicted and was correct on most of the reveals that happened in this book. There were a couple that caught me off guard that I had predicted and was wrong on, and was pleasantly surprised. That being said, even though I was correct on the majority of them, I didn't find it unsatisfying. I was still quite satisfied with the progression of the story. It was just kind of satisfying to have my guesses be confirmed. Were some of the things a little obvious, like in terms of leading up to it, like the foreshadowing? To some extent, I think so. But overall, like, I really did enjoy this, and like I said, I gave it about 3.5. And I would recommend it. It's not super scary. It's really not. I wouldn't even say it's really like scary at all. There are like horror elements, but like in a different way. It's more horrific things happening, yet less scary, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like there's a difference, and if you kind of understand the difference, you'll get what I'm talking about, which I know is hard. It's hard for me to explain. Like, there are horrific things that happen, but it's not like I'm, you know, looking over my shoulder or looking into the corners of my room while I'm reading this because it's scary necessarily. So I finished this, and this checks off the prompt for a book with 5 words in the title. This is a night sky, actually, because of when this happens, when this scene happens in the book, which I feel like that's not a spoiler, like it's on the cover. At some point this happens. It happens at night, so it could check off the night sky on the cover prompt as well. It could also check off the read a book set in the summer prompt. It could check that off. However, I really want to read this next book, The Troop by Nick Cutter, and this is definitely set in the summer. There is a group of Boy Scouts. It's in Canada, and they are on a weekend camping trip, and in the middle of the night when they're around the bonfire or whatever, some random dude comes stumbling out of the woods and into their campsite, and he may or may not have some sort of government created disease. And that's all that I know about this book. But I'm very excited about it. It is about 340 pages. I remember a couple of years ago, like, this was really popular. Lots of people were reading it and really enjoying it. So I am excited to finally get to it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So that is what I'm going to start now. But again, it is, what time is it? 7:40. So I do have to get started on work. And I'm gonna go do that, and then I'll check in with you when I make some progress on The Troop. Hi, it's currently lunchtime, and I started this book. I'm already disgusted by it, and I have such high hopes for this now. Holy moly. So it started out with like a little like news article, and then the first chapter is like 3 pages long. Not even. They're not even 3 full pages long. Ugh. So gross. I'm grossed out, but I'm loving this. I have such high hopes now. And then the next one, the next chapter, before the chapter is like another, looks like another kind of news article, looks like a survey report type of thing. So I don't know if that's in between every chapter, which is kind of fun. I liked that addition. No, it's not. So after chapter 2, it's not. I don't know. These are really short chapters, which I like short snappy chapters. Okay, so there's another one after, so it's every few chapters it looks like. There's like a interspersed news article, report, web article type of a thing. But yeah, if you don't have a strong stomach in terms of people consuming things, eating things, I don't think you'll like this, because already the first chapter is really gross. But I am grossed out, but loving it so far, and I'm only 1 chapter in, so very high hopes. But I just wanted to chime in with this and give you an update that already it's really good. Thursday morning. Taking a quick break from work to give you a little bit of an update on The Troop by Nick Cutter. I am about, how far am I? 101 pages through, so about this far through, and I am loving this. This is so good. First of all, I lied. This does not take place in the summer. This takes place in October. So I'm saying that this is a night sky, and that little light there, that's the moon. That's what I'm saying. This is gonna cover the night sky, prompt instead of the summer prompt. The Children on the Hill can cover both the 5-word and the summer prompt. Because let's be real, probably not going to get through a full 3rd book in this vlog. Hopefully I'll get through a 2nd book. I do know I'm not going to have a lot of time to read tonight because I have a birthday dinner. I have a birthday dinner I am going to tonight. I love birthdays, so, but yeah, this is The Troop by Nick Cutter, and I'm loving it. And basically, we are following these 5 14-year-old Boy Scouts, and they're in the Canadian wilderness, and they have their scoutmaster who is a doctor, and that is a relevant point to make. And they are just camping for the weekend, and like the first night of their trip, the scoutmaster is kind of sitting on the porch and hears a boat arrive on the island, and they're supposed to be on the island by themselves, and all of a sudden this guy comes up and he is hungry, like hungry, and also like emaciated. Like, it's a wonder this guy is still alive because he's got like no muscle and no fat left at all. He's literally skin and bones, but he keeps eating everything, like everything. He just eats. And if you don't like gross things that deal with people consuming things, do not read this book. This book is disgusting. Like, I am actively like reacting like facially and vocally to things that I read in this book. It's so gross. But so good. It's definitely horrifying. But I'm really enjoying this. The 5 boys are very distinct in my opinion. I've got one that I really want to punch in the face, one that scares me a little bit, and one that I just want to give a hug. And he kind of reminds me in a way of me when I was a kid, with how just nerdy and know-it-all, and like how much he is like a stickler for the rules and following the rules. Kind of just reminds me of me, and sadly he gets picked on a lot, and I just want to give him a hug. And then the other 2 I'm just pretty neutral about, but like neutral positive, I guess. But I'm really enjoying this, and like on top of this being gross, in general, I just really enjoy the writing style. Like, it's easy to read, but also, like, just very detailed, which makes it extra gross, but also very beautiful at some points, too. Like, I'm gonna read you this passage. It's not gross, I promise. This one is not gross. There is an emotion that operates on a register above sheer terror. It lives on a mindless dog whistle frequency. Its existence is in itself a horrifying discovery, like scanning a shortwave radio in the dead of night and tuning into an alien wavelength. A heavy whisper barely climbing above the static, voices muttering in a brutal language that human tongues could never speak. Like, I don't know, I just really liked that paragraph. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this. So there is that update, and I also wanted to give a quick little crochet update because I've made a lot of progress on my scarf. Look at how long this is so far. Like, I can't even fit the whole thing in the camera. It's so long. If I turn it this way, I can. But yeah, very proud of this. I have dropped 2 stitches somewhere down here because you can see it's a little wider, and I started and then like checking the stitches again, like up here, and I couldn't find exactly where I dropped them. So some were pretty early on, I think. Like, some were pretty early on, but I was too far ahead that it didn't matter to me. I was like, whatever, I'm just going with it. But I'm absolutely loving crocheting. Again, I literally only know one stitch. It's a single stitch crochet, but I'm really enjoying it. Having a lot of fun with that. But yeah, I just wanted to tune in and give you this quick update before I head back to work. I will check back in a while when I've read more of this. Good afternoon. It is Friday afternoon. Just finished up with work for the day, work for the week, I guess. Just wanted to check in with a bit of an update. So I did go to the birthday dinner last night, and it was good. It was fun. It was a great time. It was for my brother-in-law. So happy birthday to him. But yeah, it was a good time. And then I did make a little bit of progress in The Troop by Nick Cutter. I am roughly halfway through. Where's my bookmark? Roughly halfway through at this point. Page 174 out of 355, really close to halfway through. Still really enjoying this. I have decided I can't read it while I'm eating anymore. I tried reading it during lunch today and I got literally like 2 pages in and had to put it down. I was like, I can't do this. It's so gross. It's so gross. And I will say, this has like an actual fear of mine. A big portion of this book, like what this book kind of revolves around, is like a genuine fear of mine, just turned up to 11. And so it makes it like extra scary for me, I guess. I did want to mention that this book, like outside of just the general horror elements, it does have some characters who can make homophobic comments, if that matters to anybody. I do want to clarify, there's a point to them. It's very clear that it's not the author just like imposing, you know, problematic rhetoric. It's to make this character problematic. So there is a point to them, but I understand if people don't want to read those comments or read that type of a thing. Maybe you don't pick this up. But I just wanted to put that out there. It is definitely there for a purpose, to make this character very unlikable, and it aids in kind of creating his toxic masculinity. But just wanted to bring that up. But yeah, I am still really enjoying this. The little, like, I was telling you that there's like little, I guess you could call them like articles in between every few chapters. That has expanded to interviews as well. I had mentioned that, and it says even in the synopsis that it says the human carrier of a bioengineered nightmare is the man that shows up on the island. There are interviews, and it feels almost like it's post everything that's happening right now, as kind of like an investigation type of a thing, which I think is really interesting because we have such a narrow scope of just these handful of characters on this island, and then when every few chapters we get to kind of pull out and zoom out to the broader perspective of things that, you know, we're not seeing in the actual story, but we're getting more information of like more background information and more of a perspective on things. And it definitely aids to the fear factor of this book, I think. Yeah, I just really enjoy having those little inserted just couple page vignettes, I guess. But yeah, really enjoying this. So I definitely plan to make some progress on this tonight. Tonight is another night that I actually don't know how much progress I'm going to be able to make, because me and my brother are meeting just like in a call. We have to finalize just a few details for our trip coming up in August, and then I think we were gonna do a movie night. We were gonna watch The Thing together to prep for one of the panels that is at the horror convention in August that we're going to, because Bryce really likes that movie. Bryce is my brother. He really likes that movie a lot, and I've never seen it, and he wants to go to the panel for, it's like, apparently The Thing is part of a trilogy. I don't know, I don't remember what the other two movies are. He's only seen The Thing but really, really loves it, and then I've never seen any of the movies, so I think we're gonna start watching them, so that at least I can follow along at some extent at the panel, and obviously since I think it's like, it seems like it's one of his favorite movies. I'm not 100% sure, but I know he really likes it. He'll be able to follow in the panel much better. But we, yeah, so I think we're going to do that tonight. But I will be reading this kind of either leading up to that or afterwards, or I don't know. I'll read this at some point tonight, though. Hello, good morning. It is Saturday morning, about 8:50. Today I am going with a friend to, my town has like, or my city has like a, it's called the Art Fair on the Square, and I went the past couple years, really enjoyed it, had a lot of fun. It's basically just a ton of local artists come with their booths, whether that be like, you know, like prints, or there's like lots of jewelry artists, things like that. So we're gonna go to that. I've got a little over an hour and a half before I have to meet up with her. So we are gonna do my nails. I meant to, these are the nails. I meant to do this when I was watching the movie yesterday, The Thing. And I was so enthralled with, oh, they've got a thing where you can test the length of the nail. I just realized that. Wow, I didn't know that that was a thing before. And you can, it's like a little, you stick your finger in it. Anyway, yeah, I was so enthralled with that movie that I completely forgot that I was gonna do this. So I'm gonna do it now. So we're gonna talk while I start figuring out which nails I need to use, the size, and then prepping my fingers, which usually, the last time figuring out what nails to use took me forever because I wasn't sure the sizes. Anyway, yeah, that movie, super good, very gory, like very over the top gore, and gruesomeness. So if you don't like that, maybe skip it, but I thought it was really good. So like I said, there's at the horror convention that me and my brother are going to in August, there's a panel for, it's called John Carpenter's The Apocalypse Trilogy. So John Carpenter is the producer or director, one of the two, of The Thing, and then two other movies, The Prince of Darkness and In the Mouth of Madness, I think is what it's called. They are not related narratively. They're completely separate narratively, but thematically, they all have kind of the same theme of something taking over the human race, I guess, and that's not a spoiler. It's very obvious in each of the, synopses of the movies that that's what it is. But The Thing is basically this group of scientists in Antarctica, and this dog comes running up, and they take in this dog, and then weird things start happening. I don't know how much to tell you that without like spoiling it, so that's all I'm gonna say. But really good. The special effects were really impressive. I forgot at some points that it was a movie made in 1982. There were some points where it was very obvious it was made in 1982, but like even those parts were still really impressive, and it didn't like, you know, ruin the movie when you compare, when you like are used to today's special effects. It didn't ruin the movie at all. Yeah, just, it was really good. Oh dear, these are gonna be really long. yeah, so really good. Highly recommend it. Bryce and I are gonna watch the second one. Guess when it was made. I think it was made in like 87. Which one was it? The Prince of Darkness. We're gonna watch that one I think next weekend. So yeah, very exciting. That was very good. If you're looking for a good 80s horror movie, I recommend. So then in terms of reading updates, I have not made it that far, much further into the troop. I'm on page 204, about that far now. I did want to make a couple of comments. So first thing that I forgot to mention at my last update when I was talking about kind of a warning on, you know, if this makes you really uncomfortable, like past the horror enjoyment kind of uncomfortableness, if that makes sense, probably don't pick it up. I wanted to add in, if you really don't like animal cruelty, don't pick this up, because this is pretty detailed in its animal cruelty. I will say that when it happens in this book, logically it makes sense for it to have happened. With just how the events are playing out and what happens in this book, logically it makes sense that it would be in the story. It is pretty detailed. I do want to say I was worried at some point that this was going to kind of peter out, because I was like, I don't know where else we can go with this story. And we've got so much of it left. There has definitely been another element added in. It was added in pretty early on, but I didn't quite pick up on the extent to which it would play a part in this story. And it's definitely adding just a whole new perspective of what's happening, a whole new element into the fray that is very disturbing. Just this whole book is just very disturbing, but very good. So yeah, I will definitely be making progress in this whenever I get back home today, but yeah, I'm gonna do my nails. I'm just trying to like sort through, pick out the sizes that I know I for sure don't need. There's a chance I'll finish this today. I definitely have like 150 pages left, but if it, you know, if I just can't put it down, I might finish it today. Otherwise, I'll for sure end up finishing it tomorrow, because the only thing I really have to do tomorrow is edit this vlog. That's the only thing that I really have planned. But yeah, I'm gonna do my nails, because apparently I can't do a video update and pick out nail sizes at the same time. That's where I have a limit there, apparently. But yeah, I'm gonna go, that's not the right size, is it? No. I'm gonna go do my nails, and then, oh, I might actually need this size somewhere. I'm gonna go do my nails, and then I will check in with you when I have made more progress in the troop. Good afternoon. It is actually Sunday now. It's about 1:30. I meant to update you yesterday after the art fair. However, when I got home, I was so hot and sweaty and gross because it was really hot outside. It's really hot out today. And I was just in the sun for a long time, so I took a shower right away, and then I did some tidying up around the apartment, ate a very early dinner, and then I was reading a little bit in order to try to give you a little bit more of a reading update on top of an update with just an art fair, and I fell asleep. So then this morning, I spent this morning finishing the troop, and then I was gonna update you right after that, after I ate lunch. However, then my camera died. So we're updating you now. I want to go through what I got at the art fair first. I will say I went a little overboard compared to what I usually, you know, buy at these types of things. However, this is the one time of year where I really end up, I guess, expanding my art wall. You can see part of it behind me. I know I've shown it before, but this is kind of the time of the year because it's a huge art fair. So I did end up buying 4 prints, 1 bookmark, and 3 pairs of earrings. So we're gonna actually go, and I'm gonna show you the earrings first. There was like a really good deal on 3, if you bought 3 pairs at this one stall. They're like asymmetrical, or like, yeah, asymmetrical earrings. So there is this pair. I'm like shaking for some reason. There's this pair. This is the pair that really caught my eye at this stall. They had a few different ones, but they were like classics, and I really love Wuthering Heights, so I picked up this one. And then the last pair I got were these. Yeah, I just thought they were pretty. So this is the earrings that I got, and then I'm gonna show you the bookmark. It's still in its like little package. This is the bookmark that I got. At that same stall then, I also got this other art print, which I thought was really cool. So there's art print number 1. And then one of the first prints that I picked up while I was there was at a stall that I have bought a print from before. I have one up there somewhere. But so, like, I just really love the art style. It takes like just a very whimsical nature feel to it. I know it's kind of dark. But you know, the manta rays and the mushrooms in the forest, I just thought were really fun. Third print is this guy. I just thought he was really cute. And then 4th print is this guy. I thought was really cute. But yeah, so I gotta figure out where I'm putting those on my wall. I usually try to keep them above my desk, but I am rapidly running out of room there. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. I had a good time. It was just really hot outside. And of course the art fair is like huge, so just lots of walking, lots of being in the sun. So I got really tired. But then finally, I do want to give you a final update. I did finish The Troop by Nick Cutter, and holy moly. This was revolting, horrifying, and I loved every second of it. I was absolutely disgusted. I was absolutely horrified. It's so good though. It's so freaking good. 5 stars, hands down. Like from start to finish, I was enthralled. And even when I started to get worried that like it was gonna kind of fall off, this other kind of element of the story that I know I talked about before, it was kind of hinted at in the beginning of like potentially becoming involved in the story, definitely took off and added a whole nother kind of twist to what was happening. Just really phenomenal. I definitely want to check out more of Nick Cutter's work, but yeah, I don't know, man, this was just amazing. And the fact that it was so gory and gruesome and vile and revolting, yet all of those scenes, all of those really gross moments, all played a part in propelling the plot forward. I never felt like a gory scene was being gratuitous. It always felt like it had a point, that there was a purpose to that disgustingness being in the story. Are you good? And I just think that that really impressed me a lot. I also just was really impressed with how well Cutter made each of these characters feel so distinct from one another, and how you really got into the psyche of each of these characters. You really just got into their heads, and you're just sitting in their heads watching all of this unravel and just getting a really clear idea of their thought process behind everything, whether it makes sense to you or not. I recommend this. I highly, highly recommend it, with the caveat that if you have a weak stomach, you might want to steer away. There are very graphic scenes of animal abuse, so if that bothers you, again, you might want to steer away. And then in the beginning, there are some homophobic comments. Again, not in a way that I feel like it doesn't reflect the author's viewpoint. It's more to make a point of this, how this character is, that says it, if that makes sense. But again, if any of those things bother you, I think you might want to steer away from this. Otherwise, if you are into horror and want to pick up a really good book, I would recommend The Troop by Nick Cutter. But that is the end of my little Summerween vlog. I know we only got through 2 books, but I still think it was really successful. I think I was able to mark off most of the prompts for the book prompts, and then I realized there was like a bingo board, I'll put it up here, that also included like watch a horror movie, and I did that while watching The Thing with my brother, so that was exciting. Again, highly recommend The Thing as well, but if you don't like gore, maybe steer away from that one too, because it's pretty gross. But I was really impressed with just how enthralling the story was and how the special effects were done. It was just really impressive to me. But I just wanted to, again, shout out Gabby Reads for putting together this readathon. I had a lot of fun, even though I do tend to be a lot more relaxed with readathons. It is just fun to have kind of a theme going throughout a vlog. And then, again, I'll link Gabby Reads' channel down below. I will link my friend Aparna's nail art Instagram down below that I mentioned at the beginning of this video, as well as the Instagram account that is kind of hosting this little like scheduled reread of the Bone season. I'll link all of them down below, so check them out. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you consider sticking around and subscribing if you haven't already. And as always, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!